What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tribe of Visionaries. I'm Jason Merritt, joined by my co-host Paul Bermingham and Stephen Shikika. We are joined today by a very special guest. This guy, I've known him for quite some time. We actually have a lot of history together. But in case you guys don't know, this is Jacob Mullins. Jacob Mullins, he's originally from Chicago, Illinois. He started out in the plumbing business. It was family business. Father was a plumber. Jake kind of took over doing that. And at some point, Jake decided he wanted to move to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and get started in real estate. That's where he kind of began his real estate career. He's done some stuff in Charleston, North Carolina, all over South Carolina, some other areas as well. He's got a very extensive portfolio throughout North Carolina and South Carolina. He also owns a property management company, a real estate brokerage, and has a wholesale business. He's constantly doing stuff on a daily, weekly basis and is scaling and growing that as well. And then recently he has ventured into new construction over the past year and is building single family homes in Greensboro, North Carolina. And that's where he currently resides. So with all that, Jake, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
What up? What up? How you guys feeling?
Awesome. It's always great to have you on here, man.
Yeah, man. Good to be here. I was able to shuffle home right on time. Get on the podcast with you, bro.
Awesome. Appreciate you joining us. So I guess just to kind of start it off, you want to give the audience a little background of how you kind of, I guess, life before real estate and how you kind of ventured into real estate and what was your, starting journey?
Yeah. So life was for real estate, pretty much a plumber, just unclogging pipes and fixing leaks and doing all that fun stuff. Not even the good type plumber, the service plumber where I'm just working in the, in the not so glory of homes, and sewage and all that. But it was cool. It was good. It was a good base for me. My dad was a plumber, and it was I'm happy that I went through that journey, but I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore, man. And so basically my uncle was a big real estate guy in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which, I mean, this is like many, it was a good, how long ago was that, Jay, that I actually met you many years ago, and you were a really big part of when I first got started in real estate. You led me in a really good direction. So I'll never forget that, man. That's a big deal to me. You were
It's great to see how much you've grown, man. It's awesome. It's
yeah. So you gave me that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and anytime I had any questions, I just call you and get into it. And like I said, man, I'll never forget that, brother. I love it.
Yeah, I think that was like around 05, 06, something like that.
05, 06.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And so I guess when you first got into real estate, obviously you were working with us. We were doing different projects and different things. And eventually you kind of expanded out on your own and decided to carve your own path. What kind of stuff did you originally get into? And, what are some, I guess, lessons that you learned the first few years of being in real estate, how you got active and what you had going on there?
So, yeah, I'd say the first kind of couple of years I went off on my own, I would go to the auctions because back in the day, you could actually buy properties at auctions. I'm sure you still can right now, just a lot more competitive. There's a lot less competition there. And what was really cool is I was like wholesaling in the auctions back in the day. So in South Carolina, you could put a 5% deposit down and you actually have 30 days to sell that deal, which is beautiful. North Carolina is totally different. It's an upset bid every 10 days. So let's say you win the bid that day, somebody could upset you 10 days later by 5%, and it can keep on going until eternity pretty much, which super sucks. In South Carolina, they got it really good. So where you win that bid, you put the 5% down and you can actually assign that contract. So first one I bought was like a little crappy double wide mobile home out in Conway, South Carolina. It's like $23,000. I put the deposit down. I'm like, holy shit, how the hell I'm going to pay for the rest of this? And it was like I said, so cheap, but it was all the money I had. And I knocked on everybody's door around the neighborhood. And before I know it, I was like, I got to sell this. So I face to face, knocked on every door in the neighborhood, got two people that were interested in it, two neighbors. and they were kind of in a bidding war, sold it for like 50 something thousand. And then I was in business. So, it was huge. I didn't have the money to close on it. I really didn't, and so that was the beginning. So I guess, the first thing that I did is I like messing with mobile homes. Mobile homes, lease land, own land. It's a great way, a very low money entry point to get in the business. And you can make a good bit of money because people have to have a place to live, and there's plenty of people that can cut a check for a mobile home that may not be able to, cut a big check for a house. It's a pretty low entry point. It's a great spot to get started for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then after that, kind of what was the next phase that you kind of moved into? Where did you transition from there?
So started off, with the mobile homes, cheaper stuff, had a couple of rentals that I bought with my uncle. All that got locked up and lost pretty much because he filed bankruptcy. Then I would say I started doing this a lot. And then my kindergarten teacher's husband heard about what I was doing, and he called me and said, "Hey, do you ever need any money for any of these deals?" And, if I could actually take them down instead of just like selling the contract, I'd make a lot more money, a lot of cases, So what I would do, so he's like, I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll put up the money. So he put up the money. We did the deal 50-50. I flipped the property and we just kind of split the profit. We did that for many, many years. And also something I did that was really good back in the day is I was really intentional about when I was going to the auction, buying these properties, I was very intentional about meeting everybody in there because these are the guys that are really easy cash buyers that are going to buy your deals if you get them,
Yep.
So that was really good. So if I could get a deal outside of the auction, these guys would buy it from me as well. And I learned from you back in the day, we'd be putting up bandit signs and sending letters like a long time ago before wholesaling was really even a thing. We were like, it was crazy. Remember the Pitney Bowes machine? We would like put the letters in there and it folded it for us and like spit it out and everything. So we do some of that. And then I'd say I went to big thing that really helped me, man, is I joined a mastermind. So as I read this guy's book, Dean Graziosi, and he was talking about how to make, money in real estate with no money down. And I went to one of his events and actually met him. It was really cool. And then he called me. He's like, "Jacob, I want you to be in my mastermind." And he was starting this mastermind. I was like, "Holy fuck, hell yeah, I'm going to definitely do it." I was like, "How much is it?" He's like, $25,000. I was like, 25 fucking grand? Jesus Lord. I almost shit myself, because like 25 grand, I don't care who you are. It's a lot of money, especially like I've never done anything. I went to Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. I think that was like a $500 or $600 investment. I upgraded to Business Mastery. I think that was like maybe, I don't know, what 12 grand or 6 grand or whatever at the time. But then he hit me with the 25. That's deep. That's heavy, And when Dean Graziosi calls you and he's like, "I need you to be in my mastermind. It's gonna be 25,000." I did what anybody else would do. I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm in." I don't know where but it was terrifying. So that was a big leap of faith. And my first journey into the mastermind world and with him and Matt Larson. And I was so happy that I did it because you go in there and they show you, how to get your list, how to mail the letters, what print house to use, what data provider to use to get your mail. And not only that, they worked a lot on your mindset. And you need that because this business, dude, it's like a freaking roller coaster, man. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're making a bunch of money, sometimes you're broke, dude. So it's it was pretty a pretty big deal for me to go to that and to get around guys like that and to get around other entrepreneurs that were like struggling, trying to get more deals and trying to grow their business. So that was huge. And then fast forward, that spun me into Collective Genius, which I've been in the last like 6 years, which has been really, really good. And, I constantly am reading books, consuming all types of information on the best flippers, wholesalers, people who hold property, everything, man. I mean, if you want to be the best of the best, you got to get around people who are better than you that know what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on now? What does the world of Jacob look like?
The world of Jacob is I wake up every day and I'm a damn gunslinger, homie. I buy like 1 to 5. Yeah. So dude, it's totally cool. I never know where I'm going to end up or what I'm going to do. But so I buy about 1 to 5 houses every single week. I'm building like around probably 15 or 20 different houses right now at a time. I just got into that last year too. I built 10 last year. I will build 30 this year. I already got the lots. That's a done deal.
Right.
So that's a really cool venture. I manage a big portfolio that I own. And you know, so a bunch of single family houses. I have a couple mobile home parks. I got some single tenant commercial, got a couple warehouses. I have strip centers.
Wow. So
just a bunch of just,
then.
Yeah, dude, 256 doors, and I'd say half of them are in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Half of them are in the Triad, which is like the Greensboro, North Carolina area. And, but dude, I love what I do. So I got a great team, have, 2 acquisition people, have a disposition person, have an awesome operations person in my office. I have a controller that looks over all the finances, helps me make financial decisions. And then I have a bookkeeper that works for, under the controller as well. And I have a transaction coordinator, which really allows me not to have to do everything. What I personally enjoy doing, I really enjoy, going belly with sellers, just meeting them, talking to them, figure out how we can make a deal. This is what I like to do the most, but today I woke up, I looked at 2 different cool projects where I'm building 5 houses and 5 houses. And then one of them actually had a mobile home on it. Back to my roots, the good old fashioned mobile home, baby. But yeah, so one of them had a mobile home on it. And normally, if it was just like a crappy, terrible mobile home, I just destroy it. But this one actually looks pretty good. So I got some pictures. I'm gonna shoot it over to Mikey, and then get my dispo guy to sell it. So I'm gonna sell that and then plow everything else out, clear the land, build on these 2 projects 10 houses. Nice. So that'll be that's super cool, man. And it's very scalable, man. Building, you can plug building into your existing flipping and wholesaling business, and it really doesn't demand too much of you, which is what I like the most about it. I'm still figuring it out and tweaking it and tuning it. My first house, I didn't really make that much. I made like 12 grand, which sucks. But dude, I really had very little to do there, and I didn't lose. And then the second one, I think I made 20 something thousand, and then another 20 something thousand. And then I just hit a 47,000. So I'm learning more, I'm learning more about the land, and, it's been a pretty cool journey into this. But ultimately what was really set me apart from a lot of other investors is I just continue to hold, man. A lot of investors do this too, but I just continue to hold all these properties in Myrtle Beach. I mean, Jason, dude, dude, you could buy it for nothing back in the day, bro. These properties have 4x'd in value. It's crazy. For what I got them for, 100 something doors have 4 times in value, So, I mean, that's a big deal, man, and even all the stuff that I have in the Greensboro area, I've got it all good. And it's being able to manage that in-house is a big deal, man. So I actually have 2 different property management companies. The one in Myrtle Beach, we manage other people's property. The one in North Carolina, I decided I'm not taking anybody else's property because a lot of these landlords are scumbags. They don't want to fix anything. And so I decided I'm going to just manage my stuff, but I'm going to do it elite. So we're going to provide amazing quality of housing, amazing service, and I'm not going to get distracted by other owners. It's just going to be my stuff. And when you have over 100 doors in one area, you can do that in-house for sure. So, but dude, my day, I never know where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. I just pretty much, they go on my schedule. They say who I'm going to meet, and I just go there and rip deals, homie. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So you do have a schedule of who you're supposed to be meeting with, though.
100%. Yeah. So you'd be proud of me, Jason. I use Google Calendar now. I used to be just an absolute hurricane. So I'd have a notebook or a couple pieces of paper spread out in my office. Now I use Google Calendar. They go on, they know I have to coordinate it. And I just grip it and rip it, man. I just see where I got to go today. Where am I going to close the deal today? And I just go do that, and it's freaking great.
And I guess have you learned at different points in time along the way how to kind of structure your team and what you need? Or was there one specific mastermind that kind of led you to all that?
So Dean's mastermind gave me the base of all this, and I would say Collective Genius helped you really dive in deep and cultivate it. So yeah, Collective Genius is awesome, really good. If anybody's thinking to join, there's a lot of top level people, which is super cool because like when I go in the group, I'm probably the bottom 5 or 10% in the group. I mean, there's people who do amazing things. You know,
It's a good place to be. Good room to be in.
That's the group that you want to be in. So, but it basically, if you're starting off, you can do a lot of this stuff yourself, and then when you start generating revenue, you just really need to get like a personal assistant. A personal assistant can do and take off so much from what you're doing. I've always been good about that. Jason, you can vouch for me, dude. I've always had like different assistants throughout the years, just delegating some of that stuff out because you just can't do it all. And then so after you get the personal assistant, you start growing your team a little bit. I would say you want to eventually hire an acquisition person. And then once you get the acquisition person and you get a little momentum, you get your deals going, you probably want to get a disposition person because somebody that's full-time dedicated to that. I mean, it's a big difference, man. I mean, we're literally every day. So we're going on MLS, we're figuring out who listed new properties and we're skip tracing that person and calling them. Who listed a new rental? We're skip tracing that person, calling them, adding them to our buyers list. We're figuring, and then we just did this. Oh my God, what a great thing this is. We just did this investor base. You guys ever heard of that?
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
I think that's the one Mike just sent me.
Dude, I don't know what it is, so please explain.
So if you're wholesaling, investor base is ridiculous. I think it's like $250 a month, way underpriced. Matt Larson told me about it. I still talk to Matt, and he's like, dude, just get this. And I totally agree with him. I think it's like $250 a month. And it'll pinpoint. So if you bought a property in this neighborhood, then it will spit out the top 3 buyers that are most likely to buy that property. So if you're in wholesale, you need this, it's crazy. And like, we thought we had a badass buyers list, which we do. We have really, really, really good buyers list. Anybody that wants to sell anything in the Triad area, holler at me to JV. We'll do some, or holler at Jason, whatever. But, and we have a really, really good buyers list. It's killer. So, but we cultivate it every single day. It's like very, very good. But anyway, investor base, dude, it popped up on people that wasn't even on our list. It was insane. It's like, dude, it is absolutely insane. Like it is that good. And if you buy like a one-off in the middle of the country somewhere, dude, it'll still spit out like, hey, these 3 people in the middle of the country, these are your best buyers, and if you're doing remote all over the place, I mean, good Lord, it's just probably a great tool.
Yeah. So I personally know, a majority of your team, and you lucked out like hell with your personal. You didn't go through a bunch, but like moving forward nowadays and hiring people to be on your team, have you gone through, is there some sort of system that you have set up for that, or have you learned anything regarding that? Or
all right. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So the best way to truly hire lately, what I have been doing to hire a personal assistant or to hire anybody on your team really is go to a staffing company. The staffing company, it's like a crazy hack. You got to pay them a portion of 1 month's or 1 year's salary to get them. But dude, the quality of people that I've got from them, and you have to make sure that they'll give you like a 3 to 6 month guarantee. The 3 they want to give you 1 month guarantee, but 1 month, I'm sorry, you can't really judge a person in 1 month and figure out if they're good or not, So 3 month, you can figure out. After month 2, you're really figuring out if you got a rock star or not. So try to get a 3, push for a 6 month guarantee. Sorry, I got a screaming baby in the background, a little pissed off baby.
No worries.
But it's cool. But yeah, so staffing companies have been really good. That is the best. If you want to get deeper into it, you want to do it yourself, and you want to spend a bunch of time filtering out people, go to Wise Hire. And if you go to Wise Hire and do your post there, that would be a way that you can get a personal assistant too. But again, dude, if you have to spend all your time getting bombarded with resumes and calling people and interviewing people, that's taken away from your real estate business. So I can promise you, if you take that same amount of energy and you put it in toward ripping deals and prospecting and trying to do business with somebody, then me personally, I found it more beneficial. Stroke a check, go through the staffing agency. And I even worked a deal where, hey, I'll agree to pay your fee, but I want to break it up into 3 payments. And a lot of times they're really cool with that. It's whatever you can negotiate.
Well, I mean, hiring and firing and having to retrain people and all that, that can be an expensive headache in itself, you know.
Dude,
so
it's very expensive. Very expensive.
The better.
Yeah. So, and I like PI. If you like, PI is very good too. Like that's predictive index. That can give a really, really good, it's a very quick test that they could take. It's kind of like the Myers-Briggs or all this stuff, but it's PI is a specific one that I found you can really tell a lot about somebody's PI score.
Yeah, well, you're going to figure out if they're going to fit into your company culture and everything as well, and what kind of person they are, which is awesome. It definitely is a huge leap and a bonus on trying to hire somebody.
Yeah, and well, these staffing companies too, they'll let you interview these people, but if you're not on the number one thing you have to look out, you got to be on the same page on your personal values and your core values. You know, so if you got somebody that's just like a mercenary, would probably be a great salesperson, but he's just ready to rip everybody's heads off and doesn't care about the seller, just cares about the money, it's probably a red flag, man. You know, you probably don't necessarily want to hire somebody like that. I would rather have somebody that's maybe 75% as good, but actually cares about people and like wants to do them right, because I think long term that's going to serve your company better. Hey, what's up? Oh, you lost it? Oh, it's about, man, my little one almost lost her tooth. Love you, baby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's wiggly. It's very wiggly right now. But
it sounds like you have a lot of experience with the team, and you've probably grown a lot over the years. For those people out there who are maybe thinking about taking a step to hire an assistant, or maybe that's all they've done is hire an assistant, and now they want to, take to the next level. Can you kind of talk about your journey of, you said you had an assistant for a while. What was that next step? How did you kind of move from I have an assistant to I'm building a team?
So having an assistant, so when you get to where the assistant, I'd say if you can do, man, if you're doing like 3 to 5 deals a month, even maybe 2 to 4 deals a month, I think that an assistant can get you really good doing 1 to 5 deals a month. If you want to scale past that, I think you need to hire someone else. But it depends on the assistant too. You talk to Matt Larson, he had one assistant. He was doing $1 million net a year with one assistant. Wow. So if you get one badass assistant that you pay really good, maybe do some equity share with, that could probably work. I'm trying to think of what they did. So your assistant to start would be doing all of your, are we talking wholesale or are we talking flip? Or both? You want me to go into both? What your assistant would do? All right. So at first, your assistant would post every wholesale deal you have on Marketplace and rip it through all, like Craigslist, Marketplace, join all the groups, do that. And then also be going out and taking pictures, putting lock boxes on houses. And then also she could help you field calls for disposition, which it gets to be a lot. If you have a deal, you can really be bombarded with a lot of phone calls really quick, and then she can also be in charge of doing, all the data entry to your CRM, whatever CRM you're using. Because what I would say is when you're first starting, especially, you really, really, really need to make sure that the data, which if I would have rewound and do something better, I would have had a CRM quicker and been more organized with the data. Because the data is so valuable, dude. Because if you get all these people, even if you can't rip a deal at that point in time, real estate changes, dude. You might work, as you get better, you have more buyers, And even the market changes, like especially in Charleston. I mean, Charleston, you guys just get explosions of the market, you know, and you've had explosions over the years where it's just got so much better. Where let's say this seller you talked to a year ago, it was too much at the time, but now, hell, you'd love to pay his price. Hell, you'd probably love to pay $20K more than what you could have got it for, you know? So organizing that data, taking good notes, having your assistant do that is just vital, dude. And it's just so valuable. So just figure out, do your research on a CRM, whatever it is. I use RE Simply. I've used Left Main, Salesforce. I'm not a very tech guy, so that did not work well. Like Salesforce is the best if you understand what you're doing. I'm a dumb sales guy. That's it. So it wasn't for me. I wanted something very dumbed down, very simple. So I use RE Simply. There's a lot of other great ones out there. But if you are techie, Left Main's definitely the best for Salesforce. Salesforce, it's always been the best CRM.
You're just not an integrator. You're not dumb, buddy.
I just have a different set of skills, different set of skills. So yes, that is correct. I'm not an integrator. I'm very much a visionary for sure. So, go ahead.
When you were starting out and everything, going from yourself to, I guess you took an assistant in first to building this team. How did you figure out how to balance that work life the entire way through? And obviously you've got kids and everything else that you spend quite a bit of time with.
So fortunately, I was not married and not had kids when I was working very hard every day. With an assistant that took some of that out, but your assistant at first is just going to work Monday through Friday. Hard to ask somebody more than that. But so to answer your question, fast forward now, the position I'm in, and I would take this position regardless because I've got 3 kids, 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 2 girls, and then I got a 6-month-old screaming little baby in the background. And I got an awesome smoking hot Bulgarian wife. So it's very important that I keep a good relationship with my wife so she doesn't leave me. So I do a hard cutoff usually between that 5 and 6 o'clock. My wife understands if I work a little past 5, but at 6 o'clock, I'm cutting it off, dude, because ultimately there's very few things that you're going to lose if you don't just call them in the morning. You have to take your time. Burnout's a real thing. It's very, very easy, especially in our business, to get burned out. And so I take that time and I don't work on the weekends anymore unless it's like a crazy emergency. I don't work on the weekends. I think you have to earn that though. I think when you're first beginning, you better get it. If somebody's calling your phone at 8 o'clock at night, you answer that fucking phone call because that's a deal. I think you need to earn your way to this, but just have this in mind. But at first you have to work, man. There is no substitute in our business. If you're not quick and you're not after that deal right now, guess what? My team's going to get that deal. Somebody's going to get that deal. So you do need to go quick, hard, and fast, but you also have to have a separation. But a separation, from work and life, it needs to be earned because at the end of the day, we got to support our family. And if you're in a bad financial situation, it does create stress, which could lead to strain on a marriage, maybe not being the best father, stuff like that. And so I would say always take one day, but if you're first starting off, work as much as you can. Also something I've really, really done that has been a game changer for my marriage is I used to get up I get up really early anyway. I get up at 4:30. I go to the gym. I come home, prepare all the meals for the kids, and then I get them to school. And I used to, after I get into school, I would just go right to the office. Now I switch that, man. So instead of going back to the office, I go back to my house and I take a walk with my wife every single day, and there is no comparison to the connection and how you'll grow as a couple and how, you talk about things and you laugh together. And if you just put in the time, it's like anything, you put in the time, then she'll be there to support me working hard from the time that I do Monday through Friday. And if it goes a little extra, it goes a little extra. So you do have to have separation. I think, Steven, that's a great question. You do need to separate things, but I believe you have to earn that separation,
So based on that, what you're talking about, have you done things? I mean, obviously we all do coaching and mentorships for business. Have you done any of that kind of stuff for your personal life or your marriage or anything like that?
Tony Robbins did a lot of that. I did have a coach, like kind of a life coach kind of deal. She was awesome. But I'll tell you, I'm naturally pretty good at that. I mean, that's one of the things I'm really, really good at, man. I very much love my family. I'm very intentional when I spend time with them. When we're at the dinner table, you're not allowed to have a phone at the table. So the time that I am there, I try to be there. I'm not like messing around on my phone and stuff like that. But Tony Robbins helped with that. Dean Graziosi helped with that. And, Collective Genius, anything that you do. And I'm constantly like absorbing books on Audible, reading books and listening to like all types of different podcasts and everything on YouTube, and it's not like right now I realize that I need to get I feel like my God situation needs to get a little better. So I've been intentional. My wife bought me a book where it's like you read one kind of passage a day. It's very little. It's like 2 minutes to read or 2 to 5 minutes. And then this morning I jumped in the sauna after the gym and I listened to Joel Osteen. Some people like the guy, some people hate the guy. I like him. I think he's great. But I know like right now, whatever I'm struggling with real time, we're in an age that it's crazy. Anything that you need help with, you just plug it into YouTube or plug it into a podcast or Audible, and you can really just absorb that. And I'm driving a lot. So whatever I'm struggling with, anything that it may be, I just look it up and then I just absorb as much as I can. And even if you listen to, you're driving down the road, you listen to 80% of it, it still sinks in, and I'm lucky enough to really have a good wife that kind of keeps me in line too. I'm like, because I kind of want to, get out of line a little bit, but she'll whack me right back into line. She'll just I'm kind of veering off this way. She just whacks me back in. So
keep that balance.
It's yeah. You got to keep that balance.
It's really crazy. I noticed, like for me, in the past year and a half, obviously surrounding yourself around the right people, the right mindset, all that kind of stuff, and being coaching. But it's really strange, like the things that I'm getting in my life or that are coming to me at different points in time or life is kind of like what the universe is feeding me. So if I'm having trouble with this, or this is a problem that's going on, all of a sudden something appears to give me the tools to, possibly deal with that or learn how to deal with that better.
That's it.
And I think I notice it more now. I don't know if it's just because I'm more observant and I'm looking for that kind of stuff. But it's definitely all around you every day.
It is. It really is. And it's funny you mentioned that because you're absolutely right. Just the people you hang around with, the group that you're involved with. I know you guys are big subject to guys. I'm sure there's a lot of great people in that community that will help you. Will bring you up. You can make a phone call probably to a handful of people that if you're struggling with something, they could probably help you on any level.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, now we're going to do our little segment that we were talking about earlier. It is Deeper Talk with the Sheik.
About that picture. So
incredible.
We got this. It's this game called Better Self by Better Self with icebreakers, Jacob. Cool. And so we got several different categories. We're gonna spin a little wheel here, and it's got different colors that relate to the categories. We'll pick you out a random question out of that group, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Looks like it's courage.
Yeah.
It's a good category for you. Is that what?
Yeah,
is it,
it's a good category.
I think that's light blue. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell. Oh, there we go. So we've got ourselves a good one here. What controversial opinions do you enjoy sharing with others?
Controversial. Oh, love this. So yeah, I got one right on there, dude. I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't offend any of you guys, but I really don't give a shit if it does. I am not into. I'm really not into this whole he, him, she, her, all that transgender bullshit that they're feeding and pushing to the kids. You know, if you want to be involved with that, I don't believe in it. Now listen, not for the kids anyway. Like when we're touring kindergartens for my child, kindergarten, dude, there was this he, him, she, or her, whatever. And I didn't even know what it was. I was like, what? I asked my wife, I was like, what is that? And I asked the person we were touring the school, what is that? And they said that we support transitioning kindergartners. And I was like, dude, listen, leave that shit alone. I do not like it. I don't want it around my kids. And it's not saying that I'm opposed to gay or lesbian, because hell, if I was a woman, I would be a lesbian, 100%. But but basically, like, dude, I don't care about that. I don't even care if you want to be a transgender or whatever later on in your life, but keep it away from the kids, man. Keep the kids pure,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that. I love everybody. And again, I could be friends with someone who is transgender. I don't really have a problem with it. Like, if you're older, I just am very, very, I have a hard stance on keeping it away from my kids. I just believe that kids don't need to be caught up with this. They have so many other things. They're just growing, and, they should be talking about playing and just, entry level learning stuff and, playing outside with their friends. They should not be exposed to some boy cutting his wiener off, or, just like something like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So that would be it. Sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings.
No, I can totally see that as a good
like
perspective.
Have a great day. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Man. Well, it seems like your faith has probably done a lot for that. Plus, you're a good family man, so I believe that that makes sense in that sense. So,
yeah. Well, I guess a follow-up question to that would be: at what age do you think we should start educating our children on that's a reality of life, right? Reality of life is you're not going to turn 18 and become the person who thinks that they're transgender or knows that they're bisexual or homosexual. So at what point do we educate our children?
I think you just let them take their natural path and always just be there to talk to them about anything they want to talk about. Be open. I think that there's so many people who don't let their kids talk. They just tell them what they can be and what they should be and what they shouldn't be. And maybe it's better to listen. Just listen to your kids and just be close to them no matter what. Because if one of my kids end up going that route, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't be the most pleased about that, but I would support them and I would still love them and I'd be there for them, because that's what a good parent should do,
So I guess to follow up to Paul's question, I guess, would you say that your question was more along the lines of, I guess, a way to, kind of see it would be, say before all this stuff was even happening in the world, like we had kids that it's like, when do you start talking to your kids about the birds and the bees? Kind of, sort of, it's because obviously people, go through life and they hit things at different ages. You
right.
may lose your virginity when you're 15, somebody else may not lose it till they're 22, 25, whatever. And so I guess that based on that, Paul's saying, okay, well, what age do you start talking to kids to let them know this kind of stuff is going on in the world? And if you ever have any questions regarding this, come and talk to me.
God, man, I'm not there yet is the answer to answer that accurately. I mean, I like I said, I got 7, 6, and 6 months.
Yeah.
So thank God I'm not there yet. I mean,
a couple years.
It's a conversation that probably has to, it definitely has to be had. I mean, I guess if I were to guess, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around that 13, 15, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think you'll know as probably different people mature a little quicker or a little slower. And I think, if you kind of see that it is a time that you could talk about that or ask them if they had any questions about it and just kind of see where they go with it, then, that would probably be the time I do it. I'd say between 13, 15, but again, I'm not even there yet, man. I still have pure little people, that are just sweet little girls right now that is not even a thing. But unfortunately, it is getting more regular in a lot of Disney and a lot of like just shows. Randomly, you'll see a lot more of this kind of introduced, which again, I don't believe in. And, you know, full disclosure, I have gay friends, I have lesbian friends, and I don't have any transgender friends, but I would not be against it. You know, like I just don't like it to be exposed to the kids, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I guess circling back to real estate and the great world of real estate, like you have wholesaling, you have property management, you have a real estate brokerage, and then you have new construction, I guess would be your four buckets.
Yes.
What would your one takeaway be from each one that was kind of like a pivotal change for you?
So wholesaling is the most important. So like if you can get really, really good at wholesaling and finding deals, you can be good at all these different ones. But you know, for wholesaling, if you're starting out, it is the best way to make money quick. You know, flipping is awesome. You make more money, you get bigger spreads, but it also, you have to be able to take it down. There's a little bit more stress. You have to be able to project manage. You have to deal with contractors. So don't start flipping, you know, at least harder projects for you know, wait on that. Wholesaling is if I had to give one people suggestion, just get good at wholesaling quick, hard, and fast. Because if you find the deal, you can do it all. You know, you can build, you know, so for building, it's very easy. You can just partner with a builder, or after flipping for a little bit, you plug some people together. You can build new construction houses. But dude, I would say don't worry about any of those other things. Just really, really get good at finding the deal, whether that's cold calling, whether it's getting real good at mail, real good at, you know, web leads, real good at just dig into something, find out how to get deals and find out how to talk to people, or have somebody answering that phone that knows how to talk to people. Because dude, there just is no substitution. He who has the deals has the money, you know? So, I mean, if somebody was getting into this, you absolutely need to be able to find deals. That's the most important thing. So I would just focus on that, focus on sales. But even if you're not a good sales guy, focus on how to listen and be somebody's friend. You know, you don't have to be a killer sales shark to make money. Just get along with the people and be genuine. And you can make that, and people will go with you.
What do you think's your biggest, I guess, converting lead generation that you do currently?
It's a combination. You know, we're really good cold callers. I do TV. TV is very good. Hold on 1 second, baby. What? I got till 5:56, right? 5:56.
Yeah, but it would be good if you go a little earlier so I can prepare myself.
You want to hand me the baby?
Huh?
You want to hand me the baby? I might have to take this baby. Hold on. Yeah, my wife's doing yoga at 6. So
Love it.
this is my wife.
Hey guys, how are you?
There's a baby, little baby Jerry. What's up? Say what's up. So, yeah. So basically, so what were we talking about? Best thing. So, man, it's just anything that you do consistent. I do everything. I spend a lot of money to operate my business. That costs me like between 90 and 100 grand a month. Mm-hmm. So I do it all. And I think just anything that you do, I would say, you know, if I was a beginner, I do bandit signs. Dude, they still freaking work. Bandit signs, I still put bandit signs up. I pull over the side. I got them in the back of my truck. I put bandit signs up. That's the cheapest way to get a deal if you do it consistent, and you will 100% get a deal. So bandit signs, number one. That's what I would do. You know, TV is awesome, but it needs to be paired with, you know, PPC and mail. Mail is really good. I mean, dude, everything is freaking good, but you know, they're all good. They're all good. You know, I mean, you can literally, but don't bounce around. Don't like try one thing for like 2 months or something and then give up and say it doesn't work. Anything you do, you got to plug in and work it hard for 3 months. You work it hard for 3 months, then you know if you got a winner or a loser, and really give it 6. But 3 months, if you're really working it, anything that you totally like put your whole wholehearted self into and you really give it a good shake, it should bring you deals. Right? James knows. You know that, right, bud? Yeah, James knows. He's like, fuck yeah.
He's only like 6 months in.
That's it. You want to see some
working out, are you gonna have to fire him?
I know.
Yeah, did you get it from a staffing agency or
this,
anyway?
This is my littlest. This is my littlest girl right here, Gabby.
Nice.
What is the first offer we give people on houses? You hear that? She said half, 50%, mofos. That's right, 50%. She knows. I train them when they're real little.
That's awesome, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. Do you guys have any other questions?
Thank you so much for coming on. I learned a little bit more about your business and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You do a great job, man.
Yeah, dude, I ripped some deals in Colombia too, dude. We buy some deals out there from time to time.
Yeah.
Colombia, Irmo, we've done some deals out there. Oh, you know what I really like too? If sorry, I'm just going back real quick. Honestly, you can make a lot of money by and spend zero money on marketing. Wholesalers. Oh my God. Just call all the wholesalers, get a good relationship with all the wholesalers. Honestly, if you have a good buyers list, you can literally tie up a wholesale deal from somebody and sell it to an investor, or you can flip it yourself. Like I flip. So I buy a ton of deals from wholesalers that cost me zero in marketing money, which I love. And I flip them and make great money a lot of times. And if you get a good relationship, you actually close the deal. I mean, it's incredible. Like if you're a great buyer and you don't give them any bullshit, and don't be a dick face. Mm-hmm. So many of these buyers that they call these wholesale and they're dick faces. Why would you be a dick face? Don't be a dick face. All right. So don't be a dick face to wholesalers. Be nice to people. Even after you made a little bit of money, be nice, be kind, but I'll tell you, there's so many wholesalers that will sell me deals because I'm a pleasant person to deal with. Mm-hmm. I don't care and never care what they make. I hope they make $1 million. It does not matter to me. Mm-hmm. Just as long as I get a good deal, that's all I care about.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Lands and Mess works.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Well, before we get out of here, what's a good way to, if somebody has a deal up in one of your areas or anything like that, what's the best way to send you a deal or get a hold of you?
Man, just I'd say Instagram, maybe JCM29577, or you can send me an email. It's Jacob at New South PS, like propertysolutions.com. But I'm at a New South Property Solutions. You can kind of look me up and kind of go from there. If you want to just call me, I'll give you my number, dude. If you got a deal, call me. Don't call me for any bullshit, but you got a deal, 846-70533. I will jump on it quick, hard, fast. I'll be an easy cash buyer for you, and we'll make it happen.
Awesome. Well, for any of you that are watching, if you like this and you want to see more, like, subscribe, share with friends. Jacob, I love you, brother. It's always
love you, man.
Seeing you, and can't wait to see you and hang out again soon, man.
Yeah, Jason, dude, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for all that you've done for me in my life. I'm telling you, like anybody looking to get started, get in real estate, Jason, you've been such a big influence on everything that I've done in my life. You were there for me. You were my first person that really took the time and helped me learn real estate back in the day. So this guy's got years of experience. He's a very intelligent dude. He's done just about everything, all aspects of real estate. So I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Jason. I love you. And thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys. Appreciate it.
Later.